This is the Scary Movie Clubcast.
Live from the Clubhouse, it's Scary Movie Clubcast. This is Nadine.
And this is Amanda.
And tonight, we watch Beetlejuice. Such a classic. So, just to give a quick summary of the movie, I'm sure you already know, this is a great movie about the afterlife, just a peek into what it's like. This great couple, they pass away together, and then they have to kind of navigate and figure out what it's like to be dead. And someone moves into their house, this family, and starts causing all sorts of chaos, and they think they found someone who can help. He's the ghost with the most, but actually, he is not what he seems.
Can't trust Beetlejuice.
Well, actually, he's exactly what he seems. They're just dumb.
They're desperate.
Yeah, he was like, they look stupid. And Amanda's going to give us some fun facts.
So I'm going to start us up with things that could have been.
Sweet.
So the first thing is, originally Wes Craven was looked at to direct.
Okay. I love that it's Tim Burton. There are very few other names that you could have said that I would have been like, maybe that still would have been really good. Yeah. But he's one of them.
Yeah. And so then there's like a few script changes as well. In one of the originals, Lydia has a sister.
Oh.
Named Kathy, the half-sister. So she basically has just as much a hand in all the same things that Lydia does, she does. So they just obviously cut her, melded her parts into Lydia.
Yeah. Okay. I'm wondering if it's like Lydia was like just her father's and then Kathy was like...
Yeah.
That's yeah, because the mother
Younger.
gives that vibe of like, you're not the child I wanted.
Yeah. There's also no mention of like Lydia's birth mother in the movie, but her name in the original script was Evelyn.
Ooh.
Apparently, in the original script, they get divorced, and she stays in New York. She was actually going to be one of the guests that comes to the dinner party.
Oh, interesting.
But obviously all that got taken out, and...
Which honestly I kind of get, because it is a lot of characters already.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's simplifying.
Yeah.
Simplifying a movie is always better.
Yeah, honestly, there still could have been less characters, I think, really.
Yeah. Too many guests coming over.
Yeah.
But in the Broadway musical... There is mention of the mother. They rename her Emily instead of Evelyn.
Hate that.
Yeah.
Emily's a fine name, but
yeah.
I like Evelyn.
Yeah. And it's not divorce. She died, and that's why Lydia is so obsessed with death and the afterlife.
Makes sense.
And also another thing in the original script, Barbara and Adam's death, much more graphic. And there's also a part where Barbara's arm gets crushed in the accident. And, one of the things when she walks in, she has to reset her arm. But the only thing that really remains of that is Adam asking how Barbara's arm is. And she responds, I don't know, it feels frozen.
Okay.
And the ending was also supposed to be a lot darker.
Oh, really?
Yeah, Lydia dies.
Oh, yeah.
In a fire. And joins her friends in the afterlife. And they changed it because they didn't like the message it was sending.
She was so young.
Yeah. They don't want the happy ending for her to be dead.
Yeah, no.
And be with her friends. Better if she lives. There's a lot. They looked at everybody in terms of casting.
Really?
Yeah. So...
Well, they made good choices.
Yeah, for Barbara, one of the people they looked at was Christy Alley.
Okay.
But she couldn't get out of her obligations with Cheers. But there's also Sigourney Weaver, Linda Blair, Goldie Hawn, Laura Dern, and Linda Hamilton.
Well, Laura Dern would have been great.
Yeah,
She's so
she
talented.
She would have.
Honestly, I feel like Goldie Hawn also could have done a good job. In a weird way.
She's so funny.
There's something about her.
Comedic timing.
Yeah. I would not have cast Christy Alley. I think that's a blessing in disguise for them. She's great, and I like her in a lot of things. I just don't think this was right.
For Delia, they looked at Angelica Houston.
Ooh.
I know.
She's like killer.
Yeah, she would have been good.
Yeah.
She would have been good. But she apparently, got sick or something and couldn't come in. For Lydia, Heather Langenkamp, Nightmare on Elm Street.
Oh, okay. So I do know who that
is. Yes. Also, Juliette Lewis.
Man, I know that name, but it's hard for me to place.
Yeah, you, I'm having a hard time thinking of what you might have seen that you liked her in. She was in the Quentin Tarantino movie you don't like. Dusk Till Dawn.
Oh, yeah. The one who dated Brad Pitt.
Yeah,
it's
as a teenager,
wild.
way too young.
Yeah.
She was 16, and he was 20.
She was in Cape Fear.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm never crazy about her. She's always, exactly fine to me.
I do think out of all the people on this list, she would probably have been my next choice.
Yeah.
To play Lydia.
Also, though, I'm like a big Winona fan, so
Yeah.
like I can't imagine someone you would say that I'd be like, oh yeah, I would pick them over Winona.
But I mean, these ones are just not it. Like, Lori Longline, Aunt Becky.
Huh.
Yeah,
Definitely not.
Diane Lane, Sarah Jessica Parker, Brooke Shields, Molly Ringwald, Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly probably would have been ultimately fine. I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
I would never pick her over though. And I do love Sarah Jessica Parker like so much, but she wouldn't have been right for this at all.
No. That would be totally
It would be a
different character.
total miscast.
Yeah. As for Oath, though, John Candy, John Goodman, and Bob Hoskins. Who's that? I don't know.
I love John Goodman. One of my first crushes.
And then Adam Maitland was almost Bill Pullman, which I think could have been a good.
Who's that?
He's the president of Independence Day.
That was me giving Amanda a face like she should have known that I haven't seen that action movie. Because why would
It
I?
has Will Smith in it. And, what's that guy from Jurassic Park?
The one with the glasses. There's a lot of guys in Jurassic Park. It doesn't matter.
The one that everyone loves.
The one who like talks all weird.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know who you mean.
I'm
It's always on
Jeff
Conan.
Goldblum.
Yeah.
And Tim Burton actually wanted Sammy Davis Jr. to play Beetlejuice originally.
Okay.
But studio execs didn't like that. And to be fair, like, the original Beetlejuice was very different from the Beetlejuice we know. He was going to be a winged demonic presence and taking the human form as a Middle Eastern man, and it eventually, like, kind of morphed into an African American man who spoke with a pidgin dialect.
Oof.
Yeah, it was a bit. I'm glad we got away from that.
Yeah. If you're barely gonna have any ethnic people in the movie, don't make the one villain.
Oh, and then so some of the other choices for Beetlejuice were Dustin Hoffman, Robin Williams, Christopher Lloyd, Jim Carrey, Tim Curry, Jack Nicholson, Bill Murray, Robert De Niro, just to name a few.
I mean, honestly, a lot of the names on that list, I'm sure would have been
Yeah.
interesting and good in their own weird ways, but I'm happy with what we have. I would
Yes.
not change it out for the unknown.
Yeah, and according to Tim Burton, it was really difficult to get anyone to agree to be a part of the movie.
What?
Yeah, they didn't
These
get
people
it.
have no
They thought it
vision.
was too weird. Gina Davis was the only one who signed up right away,
Aw, good for her.
and everyone else said no at least once.
Rude.
And when Michael Keaton finally got it, it was after meeting with Tim Burton and after seeing Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
Okay.
I mean, Pee-wee's Big Adventure was Tim Burton's breakout film,
Yeah,
which is
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of crazy.
I know.
That's what got him name recognition.
Oh, man.
This is not supposed to be here, but I'm going to do it anyway because it's here. And I like it. It's a good fact. For the name of the movie, the studio wanted it to be called House Ghosts, but then as a joke, Tim Burton suggested the name Scared Sheetless. And he was horrified when they actually considered using it. And he was like, no.
Oh, no. That's hilarious.
Okay, but Michael Keaton is the Juice. So, according to Beetlejuice was described to him by Tim Burton as having lived in every time period, but no time period. And Keaton came up with a lot of the different aspects of Beetlejuice's look, like the shocked hair, the mold.
Yeah.
And he also...
I do. I love the hair and I love the green on the outside. So good. Simple.
the mold,
Perfect.
the
Yeah.
decay, the big teeth, everything.
Yeah. Dark eyes.
Michael Keaton also allegedly ad-libbed 90% of his lines.
Really?
Yeah.
Impressive.
One of those scenes is the graveyard scene where he kicks that tree and it falls over.
Nice
wasn't
model.
supposed to fall over. And him swearing and yelling "nice model," that was to the set people.
I like that. Honestly, surprising that they left an F-bomb in this movie. Like, but at that time when this movie came out, what did it come out as? What rating? Okay. Yeah, which I guess it's weird because there isn't really much violence in it, but the implied violence from how you can tell how the people died is,
Yeah,
probably
pretty good.
never would have gotten it PG.
And I mean the gory parts where you see Barbara's face rip off and she's cut off Alec Baldwin's head are pretty graphic. And not to mention Miss Argentina's little accident.
Yeah, what can you do?
Oh, Michael Keaton also based his performance on the character Chop Top from Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, I've not seen it.
Me either. But I figured I'd put it in here because we did Texas Chainsaw Massacre this season.
For sure. I'm sure some people have seen it. Some people out there are like,
It all makes sense!
some one of our four listening.
And if you're wondering, the character Beetlejuice is named after the star in the Orion constellation. Okay. There's surprisingly a lot of facts about the Day-O song. So that's got its own subcategory. Tim Burton was afraid of that sequence because he didn't think it was very funny.
Oh.
He didn't think people would like it.
It's so good.
It's so good. It's like the most iconic part of the whole movie.
Yeah. Oh, have some faith in yourself.
I know. They were going to do different songs, so maybe that's part of it.
Okay. I will say, Catherine O'Hara, too. I mean, she does such a good job acting that, and if she hadn't, who knows how
She
it
suggested
would go,
the song.
you know?
It was her idea to switch it to Day-O.
Nice.
And when the guy who played Otho died in September of 2010, very sad, performed the song Day-O at his funeral.
Aww. That's really sweet.
Yeah, at his memorial service. Oh, in the first scene, Adam receives the Harry Belafonte cassette in the mail, and it has the Banana Boat song, aka Day-O, on there.
Yes, yeah, I remember noticing that.
So, this movie has a lot to do with death, so that's our next subcategory, because the writer was obsessed with death.
He was the Lydia.
Yes,
His family.
He was obsessed. Michael McDowell received his doctorate in English literature. His PhD dissertation was titled American Attitudes Towards Death, 1825 to 1865.
Wow, only covering 40 years.
Yeah. He was actually a really prolific novelist. He wrote thrillers, horror type books, especially Southern Gothic.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder if any of them are good.
He and his longtime romantic partner collected historical death memorabilia. And after he died in 1999, at age 49, their collection was donated to Northwest University Special Collections Library and was put on exhibit in 2013. It was enough for a whole exhibit. Another thing about death is in the wedding scene with Beetlejuice and Lydia. I don't know if this is intentional, but her wedding dress is red, and apparently there's this little rhyme that says, "Married in red, better off dead."
Oh. Iffy. There are people around the world who specifically get married in red.
Well, I guess it's probably like an English old-timey thing.
Yeah.
And this I found particularly morbid, but someone said that the football players that are bothering Juno are a reference to the 1970 crash of the Southern Airlines Flight 932, which took the lives of the Marshall University football team.
Wow, sad day.
Yeah. And this is the last section. Miscellaneous. Alec Baldwin doesn't like his performance in this movie. He's not a fan of himself.
You know, I could almost see that. Not that I think he did bad, but I do think that as an actor, he grew so much over time. Like, I don't think that he was like a Leonardo DiCaprio or something where it's like from the first performance you're like, oh my gosh, like you are born to do this. Like, I really do think that he became like a legend in my opinion.
Yeah.
So I could see that. Like, I don't think it's a bad performance, but I think him now, he probably could do better. I mean, he couldn't play this now, but you know.
In The Waiting Room, the magician's assistant?
Yes.
Tim Burton's girlfriend at the time.
Oh, little fun nepotism.
Yeah.
I like it. She's cute.
Yeah.
What does he look like? I don't
Not
know.
cute. He looked crazy.
Yeah.
He looked crazy. But, I mean, all the pictures I've seen of him are of him in his, like,
When he's
older. So, maybe he was decent looking in 88? I don't know. Catherine O'Hara met her future husband, production designer Bo Welsh. And he said that he never even thought about even talking to the actors until Tim Burton was like, she likes you, you need to go ask her out.
Wait, so Tim Burton told him that he
Yeah,
thought that she
according
liked him?
to Welsh, Tim Burton said he should ask her out near the end of filming, and it hadn't even occurred to Bo that he should even talk to her or anyone else on the
so
cast.
Cute.
Yeah, they did.
Interesting, too, that she liked him, but they hadn't even, like, become friends yet. She was just like, he cute.
So the visual effects budget was only $1 million. So Tim Burton decided to go for that tacky B-movie look. It really works in its favor.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie looks
Honestly,
incredible.
some of it's really good. When that smoke is coming out of her throat, like, it's so well done.
The movie was really successful, and it almost immediately got greenlit for a sequel.
Yeah.
Beetlejuice Goes to Hawaii.
Nah.
That's what they were first thinking about doing. And then they were just
Thank the Lord for waiting.
And Michael Keaton and Winona Ryder had both signed on to reprise their roles, but Tim Burton lost interest in the project and went on to Batman.
Good. Oh, I love those Batmans.
Yes, so good.
What a
So
blessing to leave that nightmare and go on to something so good.
I know.
Good. Good all around.
Yeah. Apparently this movie was inspired by the Poltergeist movie.
Yeah, makes sense.
Except, flipping the living from being the tormented to the tormentor. Apparently the little skeleton head that you see on top of the Beetlejuice merry-go-round at the end when he does that, funhouse thing, looks like Jack Skellington, which is this figure that Burton had been drawing since 82. So he was really, really wanted to do A Nightmare Before Christmas for a long time. And then, a lot of people, I feel like know this, but in the show Community, there's a multi-year tribute to it over the first 3 seasons, where every once in a while a character will say Beetlejuice happens once in each of those 3 seasons, and then for the 3rd time, you see an extra walk in the background dressed as Beetlejuice.
Oh, that's cute. I never noticed that.
Yeah,
Which, to be fair, I think I've only watched Community twice through or something.
And then the scene where Beetlejuice eats the fly,
Yes.
that is a tribute to The Fly, which stars Gina Davis and Jeff Goldblum, but Michael Keaton was almost cast in Jet's part.
Really interesting.
Yeah, and so the fly screaming, help me, is a line from the movie The Fly.
Nice.
And then just some awards, but Tim Burton, this is the first movie that won an Oscar,
Oh.
but it was for makeup.
Oh.
So not
The makeup is real well done.
It is real well done. And it won a Saturn Award for Best Horror Picture in 1988.
Aw.
It also got a couple other awards, but...
I knew it. The Fly is on our 24-hour movie marathon
Oh,
list.
perfect.
So we were about to watch.
I'm a little scared of that one. It's body horror. I'm not a big body horror person. Those are my facts.
They're great. Very interesting. Let's see. So, what were our favorite scares?
Probably when Mr. Deeds jumps out after they're
That's
trying to-
mine. Yeah, that's mine too. It's so good. It's
so
the perfect
good.
combo of laugh scare.
Yeah.
Because it is. You think that it's done, then you're like, ah! Oh, so good. I will say also, I can't really remember the first time that I watched this. It feels like the type of movie where I'm like, I've always seen that.
Yes.
Like,
It's
I
always
never
been part
saw
of me.
it.
We've
Yeah.
always been here.
Yeah, but I feel like I could imagine that if I were younger and seeing it for the way younger, like a kid, and seeing it for the very first time, that maybe when Beetlejuice pushes the guy down the stairs, that I would be like, they're really gonna hurt them? Maybe I would be scared of that. Mm-hmm. What are our favorite laughs?
Oh my gosh. All of them. I love everything.
I know, they're all so good. They're all so, iconic, too.
I
They're all
know.
so quotable.
When they first go onto the model set, and Alex I need to talk to Barbara. And so Gina Davis and him go over to the side, and then they come back, and then Beetlejuice is there wearing the same outfit that Alec Baldwin's character has on. He's like, oh, we're the same. Come on.
Yeah. I know, I love those sandworms thing, too. And he's like, we all hate them.
We all hate sandworms.
You're just trying to find common ground with someone. You're like, mosquitoes, am I right? Yeah. I think probably my favorite laugh is the Miss Argentina when she's like, my little accent. And it's
If I know, I know now.
and the whole room laughing except for that. I just love it. Because, her whole attitude from the jump is so wild and funny. I do also love, towards the very end when he, has the number and looks down and then looks up.
Yeah. It's
I'm
so
like,
good.
this is my life so often.
I also like the whorehouse just showing up and then Gina Davis going being like, why'd you put that there?
Yeah, it's so good. Also, the way he dances in it is so
good.
creepy.
And when he gets stuck in the grass after going spiky, I love that part.
So good. Oh, so well done. What are our least favorite parts? Very little.
Yeah.
I do wish that there were less white people, since there are so many
yes.
characters. It'd be nice if,
It's kind of what Connecticut looks like.
lots of those people were coming in from New York.
You're right.
But, so it'll be nice to hopefully see that in the sequel.
Yeah. Already
We should
we've
talk
got-
about that at the end, too. Expectations.
Yeah, we've already got
Yeah, what's her name?
Jenna Ortega.
Yes.
That's her name.
Yeah.
So she'll be there.
Yeah, it'd be interesting. Man, that girl, she's like, I have found my niche. I found my vibe. Everyone loves it. We're all down.
We do love it.
Yeah,
I love it. She's
yeah,
good at
it's
it.
great. Yeah, it's the same for Winona. She was very much in that niche and got lots of roles like that. Mm-hmm. She do great in them. We love it. Christina Ricci too.
Yeah.
Some people are just meant for these things.
They are.
Let's see. So that, and then, did you think of one yet?
Oh, gosh.
Because I have 2 other, like, light things that I can mention, but none of that, nothing too bad.
I, like, don't mind, like, Otho's character. Like, like, he's there for a reason. Mm-hmm. Like, he's also awful. He's my least favorite thing in the whole thing.
Yeah.
It's like giving that girl a hard time for her suicide attempts.
Yeah.
Like, you're like, oh, gosh. And then just,
I think that was, like, his, like, girlfriend or something, too, right? I mean, he doesn't...
I feel like that's, like, gotta be, like, a sister or something. Yeah, I don't really like Otho very much, but he's not supposed to be likable.
Exactly.
So.
That's, like, the other thing that I was gonna say is... I never enjoy watching sexual harassment, but it's an important part of, like, why you dislike his character.
He's supposed to be
like,
disgusting in every way, basically.
Yeah. I guess it's just tricky because I love him in every other way. Except for I'm like, stop touching women that don't want you to.
Well, and I mean, it goes back to, like, they keep calling Lydia a little girl. Like,
yes, yeah.
Many times Adam and Barbara are like, little girl, she's a little girl. And then this old man who's dead is like, let's get married. I think she'll understand me.
Yeah.
You're like, whoop.
Oh my gosh, what if a guy proposed to you and he did it like this, where he had like the fake finger?
No,
and it was a callback.
No, my favorite proposal is in Bill and Ted's 2.
Oh yeah, you've told me
the
this
dual
before.
proposal and their poems. It's so good.
And then the only other little tiny thing is that, so when her bangs are like doing weird stuff, then I like them, but when they're just laying there and they're uneven, I'm like, it's driving me crazy.
I feel the opposite because I've been avoiding the previews for the new movie as much as possible.
Same.
But like I still like see like little images, and like the fact that they still gave Winona Ryder those like spiky like bangs, I'm like, that feels silly.
It's her vibe.
She can't evolve. I don't love it.
Yeah. It is interesting, though, that we find it, like, the opposite way.
Yeah.
Okay, what is our favorite parts? Oh, so tough.
Oh my gosh. I mean, I liked so much of it. I like the weird, like, when you go into the, like, waiting room or, like, the afterlife, and they're, like, everyone's weird colors.
Yes.
I love that. I love the colorfulness that it is. It's not, like, just black and white sad death. It's, like, a rainbow, whole spectrum of death.
Yes. When also, I think that is what is unique to, like, this movie and many Tim Burton movies, is that, like, the favorite part could not even be, like, a specific part. It could be feel of it. Like, I feel like I'm in a whole different world.
I'm a Tim Burton girly. Like, I grew up on Tim Burton. I love all of his movies. I love his, like, very unique visual style. Like, it's just right.
Yeah, it's so good. I love it. I can't imagine my childhood without it.
I know.
Yeah. I know. I feel like I do think that my, like, all-time favorite, because I can never stop myself from, like, saying it along with her, is when she's like, I myself am strange and unusual. I just love it. I love the way she's looking off the distance. It's so good. Tortured teen. Oh, man. So good. I also love, and it's, like, really little, kind of like a throwaway part, but I love it, is when, the father is, like, doing the presentation, trying to convince the New York people, and he's doing a bad job. They aren't excited, and his wife, like, pity laughs and then, like, winks at him. And so good. I'm like, yeah, support your spouse even when they're failing. So plot quality is perfect. Yeah. Wouldn't change a thing.
Yeah.
I really wouldn't.
I know, because it's like, I think a lot of what drives it is, like, them not knowing how to be dead, which, like, how are they supposed to know?
Who would
They get to the
know?
afterlife and everyone's like, you don't have your handbook, you didn't finish reading it, what are you doing here? And you're like,
Those people have
I just
clearly
died.
been dead for years. Years
they
and years.
forgot how hard it is.
Yeah, exactly.
To be newly dead.
Yeah, like we do. We forget.
I would forget the handbook, too. I'd be like, oh, don't remember where I put that.
Yeah. Well, and also, it's such a nightmare to read and to try to understand.
Yeah.
Oof, that would be tough. Mm-hmm. Okay, so we should talk expectations. I mean, mostly I'm just excited for them to be coming back. Like, that's what matters most to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see because the Maitlands aren't going to be in it. I know that much.
Yeah.
And it makes sense because you can't have them in it because they've aged.
Yes.
Unfortunately, and ghosts don't age.
No.
So I'm interested to see, like, how they play that off, like, what they're going to say, because we learned in this movie they had 125 years in that house.
I know.
And it definitely hasn't been 125 years.
I will say, it's like, why did they pick the same... that is what surprises me the most, is that you could have just gone to a different location, then
I know.
boom, easy peasy.
I know, it could have been, like, Jenna Ortega just moved out into a new house or something because she's supposed to be Lydia's daughter.
Yeah.
And then they find Gus there, and then
Exactly.
Something similar.
Get to know
happens.
them. Yeah. I know it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. Hopefully decently.
Yeah, and Catherine O'Hara will be back.
I know. I'm so happy.
So good.
It's going to be so great. We're just mostly excited.
Yeah.
Going for Amanda's birthday.
Yeah. I don't even know what to expect.
I know. I mostly, in my mind, I'm like, I do hope that, like, it's not like the people who are coming back have, like, bit role. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, I hope that it's, like, heavy on the people that I care the most about.
I mean, after her success in Schitt's Creek, how could we not get so much Catherine O'Hara?
I know.
She was a vision.
What a talent. It's going to be great.
And, I mean, I imagine Winona's going to have a decent-sized part. She plays Jenna's mom.
Yeah.
And what I've gleaned is that there's, like, some sort of tension in their relationship, I think. I don't know.
Oh, man. What are we going to rank this out of? Yeah. Perfection. Love it. Would not change a thing. 5 out of 5. Emergency brothels.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 emergency brothels over here, too. Because it's just, like, even the parts that are, like, a little bit slower.
Yeah.
Don't bother me at all.
No.
Like, that part where he goes to their, like, little hardware store, and there's just that old man, the barber, outside just talking to himself.
So good.
It's so stupid.
Oh, man. When that woman, like, jumps in the window to try to talk to him.
Yeah!
Oh, she's wild.
It's like, even the slower parts are, like, still, like, so chock good of, like, goodness.
Yeah. It's going to be so hard for them to explain why they aren't in that house, because, I mean,
really
they
is.
basically look at Lydia like a surrogate daughter, because, like, they didn't get to have kids. That's, like, you can tell that's, like, a big part of why she actually wants to stay there. Like, wants them to stay there.
Yes. Yeah.
It's going to be interesting.
It will be.
Yeah. You guys will get to know within a week or two.
If they see the movie.
You better. Crazy. If you're listening to this podcast and you're not going to see the new Beetlejuice, what are you doing with your life?
I don't know.
I wonder how long it'll be for the third one, too. Because, I mean, you gotta at that point.
I mean, you would think, but, like, it's gonna depend on how well this movie does, honestly. And if
how could this movie not do incredibly? Also, you know what else? You remember the other day when I was talking about how I wish that there were more occasions that I could wear a black veil for? I'm gonna get one for this movie. I'm gonna wear it to the theater. We should dress up. I know we're just not talking about this, but it's always fun to have an occasion. And what a fun occasion.
Indeed.
I'm gonna start looking them up. See if I can find a good deal on one. Anything else to add?
No, I just hope the sequel's good.
Me too.
Not like Zoolander 2.
Yeah, please let it be good. I'm keeping hope alive. Yeah, I feel like no matter what, it should be at least, like, somewhat enjoyable. Like, it would have to be very bad to be, Oof. Far from our thoughts.
Yes.
But yeah, you guys, you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at Scary Movie Clubcast, and subscribe to our channel on YouTube. We'll see you next movie night, and don't forget, there are 63 days till Halloween. Bye. Gotta say, I nailed that outro.
English literature PhD, like a PhD in American literature. Stop me right now. He received his doctorate in English literature, and his PhD. This doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, those are same.
I guess it's not like British literature if it was specifically English, like literature, but it's just English is like the language. I'm getting confused. It's been a long time since I've been in school.
Or little accidents.
Little accent sounds like someone's wetting themselves.
But they know. They've been listening. No one tuned in just to hear us rank.
Emergency whorehouses.
I like that one. It's 5. It's top tier. Honestly, it's really a 6. Is the real truth.
So
it breaks the ceiling. Like, it is, yeah. So 5 out of 5 emergency whorehouses.
Yeah, 5 out of 5 emergency whorehouses.
I will say, once I say it out loud, I feel weird calling those women whores. It doesn't feel good.
What?
Emergency brothels.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good one.
Okay.